Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Oh, kuchita. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? It's very sunny in Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. It's so hot and humid. But I'm alive somehow. How are you guys? Howdy, Yoko. Howdy. Hello, Yoko. Nancy Pelosi's trip to Taiwan was the stupidest thing, really, she's ever done. It's like giving China CCP an excuse to intimidate or act on a threat. Well, it was going to that direction, so it's a matter of time, like whether she may have, made it like what's the expression, like fast forwarded the clock of what's going on, but it's not the fault of Nancy Pelosi. Rather, like the US had like they had to show either way. Like China keeps uh you know um invading or expanding to outside, and Taiwan has been in danger, so it's like, you know and during Obama administration, Obama said that the U.S. is no longer the police of the world, and that message was awful. Like he is the one to blame, and so CCP thought like, oh, it's a good idea to expand now because the U.S. will no longer, interfere in what we do. So yeah, that's just a consequence of all what's been happening. So yes, August 6th, 77 years ago, where Hiroshima got nuked. Yes, it's been 77 years. That's amazing. Like, time flies, like, why? I guess I'll put it here. Okay. Um, yes, so it's the eighth, no, seventh day. So on ninth, it's the day of Nagasaki as well. People are talking about Ukraine and how awful it is over there, or what China has been doing, and of course our atomic bomb disaster. It's a disaster. What you call, like, the aftermath of the usage of the bomb was awful. And as a Japanese who actually cherishes the alliance of Japan and the US, what I think is that because Japan was nuked, we have to have the power to counter the threat of nuclear bombs. Like, we don't want to get nuked ever again. So in order to do that, what do we do? Like, do we get to have nuclear weapons ourselves to protect ourselves from nuclear bombs, or should we develop the technology to counter that? Like, we have to talk about all that sort of stuff. But over here in Japan, it's the leftists that are that you actually use the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bomb attacks, and they say that, oh, like, it's as if like they changed the rhetoric, and they accuse us like it was our fault that we got nuked, and that it's as if they are saying that we dropped it ourselves. So that's why when the leftists here in Japan, when they talk about like no war, no nuclear weapons sort of stuff, they never have the subject of the sentence. It's usually like it's about like how it was dropped. It's like a natural disaster. It's like dropped, and that we will never let that happen ever again. Like, we will never let let that happen again. So, like, what? And if they truly want to go against nuclear weapons, our prime minister, actually, Kishida, like, when Pelosi started to visit Asia, like recently, he actually visited, I believe, in New York. Like, he visited our prime minister, he visited New York, and he made a speech about, abolishing the nuclear weapons. And it's like, if he talked about it in the sense of, let's abolish the nuclear weapons of China or North Korea, then I would understand. But like, he has this general ideology, and I don't like it. Like, it's like the ideology, like, or I mean idealism that leads nowhere, and I don't like that sort of stuff. Hello, Yoko and chat. Hello, 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 Maya. The fan over there is like making me eat my hair. um, Ohio, Ohio. Did you watch Trump's speech from yesterday and today? No. Did he make a speech? Oh, I saw that in Michigan and Arizona, Trump-backed candidates won in GOP primary, right? So, how's that going? Hello, all. Hello, hello. Kids, unfortunately, yeah. But we have this dude over here. Hi. Yoko and Hidetoshi, hello, my friends. Hello. It's important to remember that Nancy supported Obama's policies. Yes. Yeah. Contradicting, right? But Nancy Pelosi, like, people hate her generally, but like people on the right side. But she has been very active when it comes to human rights oppression, and we Asians actually appreciate the work that she does about the human rights issues. I have a Shinto question. How do you respond to roadkill? Kill animals killed by car. Oh, animals killed by car traffic. How do you respond? What do you mean? How do I respond to that? It's a it's a sad incident that should never happen. Like, I don't know. Like, could you be more specific? I see super chat. Hello, thank you always for your super chat. I always like, I look at the webcam of my laptop. I should be looking here. Thank you. As a German, I have to say the first idea of the Allies was to test them on Germany. Allies? The Allies. However, the war in Europe was over faster. どういう意味ですかね。え、ヨーロッパの戦争は先に終わったってことだな。ああ、そうだね、そうだね、そういうことだね。The idea of the ally. だけど、こっち側、あ、国連側じゃない側数日国 ?First side. だからアメリカ、ドイツと日本はどんなことテストする。We are trying to understand this, the question. Nuclear. Oh, okay. Ah, we get it. So they wanted to test on Germany, but it ended earlier than us. So that's why they had to test it in Japan. Ah. Yeah. そうなの？そういう話もあるのかな？Yeah. Like, I don't know the backstory, but yes. Like, if the war was longer, I bet that they would have used that in Germany as well. Oh, right. So Germany, the war ended in May, and in Japan, it's August. So thank you for your super chat. I always appreciate it. You mentioned Shinto says to be grateful for animals killed for food. Is there a similar response to roadkill? Oh, no, we just we take lives of animals for us to live longer. Roadkill is just what happens. And yeah, there isn't any Shinto like idea like that, but we do have reactions, I guess. That what I think personally is that we need to think of a better way to co-live or coexist with animals. You know, like, they come down to the roads and so forth because they're looking for food. So that means is that we're not treating the forest well. So, like, I think of stuff like that. If that answers. What do you think the chances are that this political theater ends up pushing the CCP to actually make a serious goal to conquer Taiwan. They are they're definitely on the way, and there are many ways to look at Nancy Pelosi's trip. There people are criticizing on different levels. What I hear from Japan is that, firstly, the majority support Nancy Pelosi on her trip this time. But of course, we do see the reaction from the CCP side. But what's interesting is that CCP calculated how far they can go, and so they didn't they attacked. They launched missiles like 11, right? And 11, and 5 out of the 11 missiles that they launched actually landed inside, like within the EEZ of Japan. And that's something that we are talking about here in Japan, but like how to react and so on. But they launched that after Pelosi left. So that's one aspect to watch. And another thing is that they've been even though it was not the direct, like they didn't just simply launch into the city of Taiwan, but it's pretty intense. And it's I see that it's compared to 1996. And 96年は李登輝のなんだっけ、選挙か。So when the Democratic leader was chosen by election, so that's when CCP moved in the same same way in the sea, and so it's compared to that. And I also saw the news that CCP has been exercising in the same area, like around Taiwan, for 4 days straight. So often what we talk about is that a little bit of missile launch and so forth, like that can lead to the actual war. So even though there are people that are praising this move, saying that, oh, America is actually standing up against China, that's good. But it's like, no matter what you do, like, you get criticized. If you don't say anything, if you don't do anything, if you don't show up in Taiwan, then you are a coward, and you are just, it's like letting or allowing appeasement for China. But if you do show up, and if you do stand up for Taiwan and so forth, then you are encouraging the war to happen, or go letting the making things go quicker than it should, and so forth. So, and the constructive constructive criticism that I heard from here is that it's good that America is standing up, but it should have been a little bit later than now because we are not ready. Like, for example, Japan, when America, or like our side, goes into war against CCP in Taiwan, that means is that American military will have all the storage in Japan, but our legal system isn't good enough yet. And Japan ourselves, like, we do have just Japan Self-Defense Force, and it does work like military pretty much. It's not official, right? And also, we are trying to boost the defense budget finally, and it's not even 2% of GDP yet. We are aiming for that, but right now it's a bit above 1%. So we're not ready. So some experts here were saying that, oh, like, we shouldn't, or Pelosi shouldn't have, done that in that sense. So yes, Yoko, is China going to invade Taiwan? They feel very comfortable acting up with the Alzheimer's patient in the White House. Is China going to invade 侵略はするのかな、搾取なのかな、侵略をすると思う。香港状態。侵略普通にする。My husband thinks that China will invade Taiwan. In what form, though? I wonder. But when it comes to Japan, what it said is that they will exploit from here. You know, that we have all this system, like we are working bees, so China just will steal, I guess. Hi, Yoko and Hide. Hi. Okay, let's go up here. Hoping to see you both in anti-censorship group soon. What is that? What group is that? Zelensky now causing up to China for money, really? Zelensky, really? I went to a bookstore yesterday to meet my husband, who was already there at the store, and I saw like 3 books, like Zelensky, and they were selling well. But so Zelensky and what did I? Oh, I saw the book of Kamala Harris as well. What else? Oh, and I saw my husband bought the book about conservatism in America. Like it's a history of conservatism in America. Edward Lee, if I remember correctly. My husband said, yeah, Edward Lee. Lead Edwards, whatever, whichever. I don't know. But it's really hot so here. So we like both of us are like, I don't know, like so it's defeated. No, like we're so tired. We feel tired or Heritage Foundation. So there's a like a thick book. Oh, and I saw the book of what's the name of her? The black lady. I forget her name. The black, super intelligent black lady. Like this activist. Blackout. The book Blackout. Yeah, the translation is out here. So I saw that. Yes, so woke Twitter is trying so hard to make Japanese artists and Japanese video games creators to go woke, but thankfully Japanese people don't back down. Yeah, the nerd type people here are very proud of their culture and their work. So like very, very proud. So they don't want to lose it, you know, they don't want to change things around. Yeah. And one of the I guess he's a comic writer, like a comic artist, and he got elected in the last election, I think, national election. Like there are like 2 people, like nerd type elect national time member here in Japan, and one is actually accused for the ties with CCP. So I don't know about that. There's another one who is fighting for the freedom of expression. So yeah, it's good. I think that like anime stuff, like artist world and video game world will be the last fortress of freedom of expression. It's interesting though, like I already shared on Twitter, but our expert on American politics, Yoichi Shimada, he's a professor, and he he said today that he watches Kamala Harris Twitter for work. You know, it's what part of what he does for his job. And but he said that he was analyzing what Kamala Harris is saying, and he said that it's nothing but political correctness activities, and there are nothing else than that. So yeah, that's interesting. Man, my husband seems very tired. He's on the floor now, laying down, because he can't even keep sitting. He's so old, man. He is, by the way, 9 years older than me, so he's my grandpa. kind of kind of nasty when you put it that way, but manga folks are winning all over the place right now. Cool. So Trump is really powerful still in the game. That's amazing. But I wonder, like, as you guys told us last week, people support DeSantis, and so like it's. I wonder if, like, conservative people here in Japan, we drag each other's leg is the expression that we use, but like we drag each other down, inside of the same community, that which we want to expand, but we fight all like we have infights all the time. And I'm wondering if that's the case for American conservatives or right wings, because I bet that you guys have different ideas. When I talked to my journalist friend in America recently, she said that you know the like America's enemies are actually brain, like it's not her words, like how I interpreted her words is that America's enemies are hijacking the right side of the US. And I see the same thing happening here. One of the things that surprised me recently was the influence of Russia actually online. That anti-vaccine, and what was that about? Like there are some things. Oh, and the election as well. Like there are some things that the right internet right wings here are saying on Twitter, but like conspiracy type of things. And it was actually analyzed, and people found out that the accounts were fake and they were coming from Russia. So they're doing these like they make fake accounts on Twitter and so forth, and they pretend to be someone even though it's just spies doing all the work. And yeah, so that's a problem. The CCP is doing something like that too. So we gotta watch out for opinions online. Wasted visit to New York, Japan. Prime Minister needs to be practical. Yes, I agree. I agree. There are so many things that we need to talk about, about constitution, about our national defense budget. Three of our defense documents, like national documents, are getting revised this year. So they will come at the end of this year. Like they will decide by the end of this year. But what's annoying about politics here is that it takes such a long time. Like we decide something like our budget and so forth, and it's for the next year. So we have to wait for such a long time. And especially for defense budget, what we are talking about is the next 5 years. And we are saying it that we will boost that to 2% of GDP. But it's like a 5-year plan. But I'm like, can we wait for 5 years? That's so ridiculous. Another super chat, do I see? Yay, thank you. Yeah, Russian bots are very strong, much better than the Chinese, really. But they are learning, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. It's good that you are aware though that you are in you wait, where are you located, Moritz? I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but where are you located? Because you're German and you know that, and I wonder if people in the world are aware, you know? Oh yes, lobsters in a bucket. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe didn't think lobster could climb. Oh, speaking of lobsters, by the way, um, we have, of course, wild, wild lobsters, right, in the rice field and so forth. They were freaking boiled to death because of the heat. I feel so like it broke my heart that there was just the rice field has water, you know. So like, oh, it's so sad. I'm gonna cry. They were boiled to death. They were red, so red, you know, in the water of the rice field. Awful. Oh, and I hear that because it's so hot outside, the mosquitoes, they are not dying out, but mosquitoes are not active in the daytime, so we don't get bitten as much. Trump DeSantis would be super. Yeah, that would be that would be so fun. That would be so fun. But yeah, man, I really miss Trump Abe time. You know, and Putin was, you know, suppressed or suppressed by Japan, US. Yeah, good times. Can't believe that it's just, you know, years ago though. Things change so quickly and dramatically. But one thing is that I think one of the bad thing that we let happen is the Crimea, you know, in 2014, was it? That when Russia took Crimea, I guess that we shouldn't have let that happen. That's one thing that became like a, what's the name of the stone? Like test stone. Like it became a good example for Russia. He is laying on the floor. He wants you to rub his belly like a doggy, like a doggy, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do that later just to make fun of him. Kamala is terrible. Thank God Joe is still alive. I know. Joe Biden is so old. I do worry about his health. Like he cannot die, you know. Oh yeah, Ken Akamatsu. Yes, yes, yes. It's the manga artist who got elected. Yes, yes. Man, you guys know better than me. Weebs will be the last line of defense to Kanye plot. Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's good that PewDiePie lives in Japan now. He's here to protect us. Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. Kamala Harris wrote a book. She can't even form a whole sentences when speaking. Oh, yeah. Oh yes, Candace Owens. Yes, yes, yes. I don't think China will invade. Oh, Zelensky is not in 1,000 years allow Chinese money. Finland and Sweden just join NATO. It would be so dumb. Hmm. Interesting. Amnesty triggered Zelensky with that. Huh. Oh, this one? Did you see Amnesty International denouncing Ukraine's use of civilians as human shields? Ooh. そんなんあったん寝てるわ。He's sleeping. No. he was gonna be cooperative. Like I love the last week cooperation, between my husband and I this week on Random Yoga channel. Husband asleep. Oh, he woke up. Oh man. I didn't know that. But I think I saw that. Yeah. アムネスティ・インターナショナルがそのウクライナで市民をね、言いよったよね。うんうんうんうん。Yeah. It wasn't on the news here too. Conservatives were so reluctant to say Pelosi could do anything good that they immediately said it was about insider trading. I agree. Actually, my journalist friend in America, what she said was about partisanship. That's the word, right? The party, like they couldn't go over the party to, think with her or stand with her because it's about America, as one country. But because it's Pelosi that led the delegation, I wonder if their reaction would be the same if someone else, like a conservative person or congressman, led the delegation to Taiwan. Because people sometimes talk with their positions. Yeah, like I don't really care about stocks and so forth. Like I see all the stuff. Like I was checking Jack Pose something Posea. Like I don't know his name well, but Jack. Like and he kept tweeting all that stuff like oh insider trading and with stocks and I saw stuff like that. But what matters is like of course like you know like I do understand the picture like the circulation of the picture what picture of the circulation I mean but like politics is so weird like it's like you can't cut things in politics like I can't explain well but yeah, I don't like Pelosi, but what she did was right. Yes, I agree. Partisanship. Yes, that's the word. Evil fighting tournament is on now. Daigo Umehara is now on top 8 in Fighter 5. Oh, nice. Nice. Esports is important. China sent in tanks to defend the banks from people that wanted to take their money out. I'm lost. And now he's eating ice cream. Ah. 嫌がらせだろ。ただの嫌がらせだろ、それ。He's in front of me. Like I feel I can now at this moment I can relate to dogs in the world. The humans just eating ice cream right in front of you to tease, but they're not gonna letting you eat. And he's laughing. I'm like drooling. I'm like a dog right now. Russia took Crimea because it's naval base in Malaysia. Sevastopol was too valuable to. Also, the U.S. was partially at fault for backing the overthrow of the Yanukovych government in 2004. Yeah, it's an important place to seize in war. Or, I mean, just nation-wise. It's interesting how, geopolitics never change, so it's always about which harbor to take and so on, like, or peninsula and so on. If a conservative like DeSantis went to Taiwan, the right would talk about it like he was Rambo. Rambo, yeah. Chinese banks are going bankrupt and people can't withdraw their money anymore. Oh yeah, I saw one before on the news. Yeah. I really am hoping that people in China will rise, because that's the only way that we can defeat China. Or I mean, CCP led China. It's every time it's in China. Like if you look at the history, it's always the people that flip things around. And we can, of course, pressure from the outside, but there's a limit. So if it goes together from the inside, then we can actually win. But CCP, of course, knows that, and that's why they, control the information inside of China. But I guess that my spiritual side of me is wishing that I shouldn't wish, bad things to happen, but Japan is struggling with natural disasters. So when I think about that, I'm like, I wonder if that's happening in China. I hear news about the heavy rain in China also, and that I hear a lot about their dam getting like over overloaded, like too much water, and that it might break and so on. And if that happens, and if a huge natural disaster happens in China, then people there will have the opportunity to rise. It's going to be dangerous, of course, but I feel like that will be the time. Revolution rise, yes. Just throwing this out there, the sentence Lake. Who is Lake? 2024. So this is a Q&A session, and I have 20 minutes to go. Natural disaster. Yeah. The problem that we Japanese have is that um we are very, very influenced, or I mean affected by natural disasters in entire Japan. And every time there is a natural disaster, our self-defense force is dispatched. And our defense force, to begin with, like, we don't have enough members. It's smaller than it should be. And when they are dispatched to natural disaster places, then that means that we can't defend our country well, as well as we should, because there's a limit of the human resource. And so, and China, of course, knows that. So I'm afraid of that. Oh, Carrie Lake. Okay. Carrie Lake is a Trumpist Republican candidate for Arizona governorship. Oh yeah. I'm following her on Twitter. Oh my god, I didn't remember her name. I just remember like Arizona Trump backed woman. Cool. Man, lots of women are politically active in America. It's very inspiring. And I was actually, when I wanted to hear what my friends in America were thinking about Pelosi visit to Taiwan. So I messaged several of my friends in America, like professional people, and I realized that everybody like I was sending message to, they were women. And over here in Japan, when I message people, it's all men. So yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Woman. Woman. In Japanese, it's umang. Umang. I can't do the W pronunciation. I realized that when I was in university, my teacher, my native speaker teacher, pointed that out. Ooh, ooh. It's difficult. 米国は日台間同時核武装を認めてください。でなければ台湾に飲み込まれる。核。Yeah, people often talk about, you know, nuclear weapons should be put in Japan, and 韓国はないのか。あるっけ。So and in South Korea, but where was I going with this? 何をしたか忘れた。but there are many things that we can still do without nuclear weapons. So, for example, there's this island near Taiwan, like Japanese island near Taiwan, and we can put things there, like just missiles and so on, and it'll be powerful enough. But yeah, we're so slow. China built many dams over the decades, but they all have much lower capacity than the safety would demand and just cause more dangers. I saw, when it comes to, accidents and disasters in China, I remember I think it was a bullet train that it got, they had an accident, and even though there were some still people inside, they buried the train. And so that's a horrible story that we Japanese keep talking about, like, oh, China can do that to their own people. Chinese natural disaster is just around the corner. If their biggest dam breaks, it will be the biggest disaster in human history. Easily 100 million dead. 100万、1000万、1億。Whoa. Yeah, it's a huge dam, right? Yeah, that could happen. But we keep talking about that though, and it never somehow it doesn't happen. I wonder why.
三峡ダムとかね。
ね、大きいけどね。Sarah Palin, such a nostalgic name. Sarah Palin is also running for Congress. Really, she's the leading candidate to win her race in Alaska. MAGA movement is full of women. Is she good? Is she like Tea Party? Sarah Palin. I remember her being like very strong, conservative woman. Woman. Ooh. Can't say woo. Pelosi loves the attention, but Taiwan trip was unnecessary before China's threats. Absolutely necessary after China's threats. I see what you mean. The timing is everything in politics. Yes. It's interesting though, because I think it was before Pelosi. Yeah, it definitely was before Pelosi, but Japanese National Diet Group visited Taiwan as well. China doesn't react at all. They don't care about, they look down on us. Like CCP, they know that we are weak. So, but the problem is that Japanese conservatives still believe that China is the way they were like decades ago. And so Japanese conservatives or right wings often look down on CCP and their military power and technology. And so that like people here often believe that we can easily win against CCP. And I think that's just wrong, you know. But people just want to think good about themselves and not they don't think about politics much. Some Chinese have been protesting the CCP by heaven destroyer. Heaven destroys the CCP. Oh yeah, meaning the CCP lost the mandate of heaven. Yeah, it's the same line that Hong Kongers were using, isn't it? Just by looking at that, I think. My Hong Konger friend. I have Hong Konger friends. You know, I no longer talk to them because there's national security law, and I don't want to risk anything. You know, like I miss them. I want to talk to them. I want to hear their opinions and do things together, but I can't. And I'm not gonna risk anything. I'm not gonna talk to them. But when we were still, you know, talking to each other, they visited Japan, and one of them wrote like, you know, please heaven punish China, you know, I mean CCP, and wrote the specific kanji like Chinese letters, like I mean they're in their language. Well, it was funny to me. Yoko, does it ever snow in your prefecture? Yes, it does. Does. And my dog back home like to hop into the snow, and they just dogs are funny. They just hop around. There was one dam in China that collapsed, and something like 100,000 people died. CCP values integrity of dams more than its citizens, so they've been flooding towns and cities with no notice. Tea Party is just another leftist level. Huh. Is it? Dam construction is needed. Actually, speaking of which, it is happening. Like I saw on the news that this one guy actually built like robots, like a big robots, like piece by piece. So like it's like a head piece and arm piece. And so it's like, you know, the toys that, or actually I guess it's a tool for your housework that can grab things if you like it's a long thing like a stick, and at the end there's a like a grab hand, so something like that. Like the guy made a huge version of that, and he rides on the robot and moves that huge robot. And so some people are trying to build Gundam. Japan can win, but right not now. You need to up your game a lot. Yes, that's one of the what our expert was saying here. That yeah, and also speaking of time, I was thinking about the leftists in Okinawa prefecture, which is very critical when it comes to the war against CCP around in Taiwan. Okinawa plays a big role, right? Like if you look at the map, you can understand. But in Okinawa, for decades, you know, since after the World War II, leftists there basically they are working for CCP, and they're trying to kick out the US base in Okinawa. And but I was thinking about the age of those activists, like leftist activists. They all have gray hair and they're very old. They're probably like 70s, 60s, 70s or something like that. And they are the retired people, like not all of them, but I hear that those leftists inside of their leftists, there are lots of retired teachers that belong to teachers union. And so that means that what that means is that they are above like 65 or more, like they are old, you know. So if you wait for a decade or two, then they will be gone. And there might be still like, you know, younger leftist activists, but the number will be very low. So it'll be easier. But can we sustain it for, you know, a decade or more? So that's, I don't think we can wait though, because China has schedule. Man, Xi Jinping's re-election, it's not an election, but his third term is coming in the fall, and they're gonna have well, I forget the schedule. Wait, before the 100 years, there's something, I think. Oh yeah, 2027. So it's like 5 years from now is the 100-year anniversary of the Chinese military. So that's one important political mark. And to 2049, as you know, is the 100-year of the since the establishment of China. So in politics, they like all this important mark, and we have to pay attention for that, because they want to do something on the special day. So in order to do that, like when like they want to have something to celebrate for, so that's why they do all the preparation, and we are in the middle of that. Oh, 10 minutes to go. She's an amazing stock trader though. Palin was a governor of Alaska. She governed very conservatively. Yeah. Yeah, I remember her being a governor. Like, she was a politician when I saw her. Like, when I was, researching for the election, a presidential election in 2016. Like, that's when I learned about her. And I liked her. Japanese soldiers were some of the toughest in the in the world during the World War II. Yes, my heart still goes out to our, ancestors in Iwo Jima. You guys say that Iwo Jima, the super hot island. I can't believe that they did that. Like, I can still get the sense of, what we call toko, like, you guys say, like a suicide, what's the word, suicide attack, you say that. But yeah, I can still get the, kamikaze and so forth. But when it comes to Iwo Jima, like underground in the hot cave, and you don't even have water, and even if you do, it's like a boiling hot water. Like, it turns out to be very, very hot. And then when I imagine that, I'm like, oh, like, I feel the pain when I imagine that. Like, I can't believe that. Like, our soldiers were, of course, like just like in your country, they were young, like teenagers to early 20. So yeah, but Iwo Jima, how we fought in Iwo Jima actually inspired North Korea, it's said. And that's why their stations are underground. Like, it's not noticeable from above. But it's good that now we have satellites, so we can always watch from the sky. But no empires last forever. The CCP will get there someday. Yes, because like when you look at history, like it's crazy that Soviet Union collapsed. You know, and I was like, what? I was born in 1985, so I was probably like 6 or so when Soviet Union collapsed. So like I don't know how it was like I keep seeing, I mean, I remember I kept seeing Like, was it Gorbachev? Like, I saw this bald guy on TV when I was little. Like, I remember seeing that. But aside from that, I don't remember anything. So, man. But yeah, China can collapse. 5 minutes to go. How long and hard did the Japanese try to negotiate with FDR prior to deciding to attack Pearl Harbor? From what I know, FDR wanted to enter the war, so he avoided any diplomatic efforts from Japan. Yes, he declined. Yes, he did. Wasn't it like twice? 2回ぐらい断られてなかった。
何
ルーズベルトと日本が会談するの。
そうだと思う。
Yes. Yes. You're right. Yuan, is it? Man, there was this super hot dude from Sweden when I was in university, and his name was Yuan. Anyway. I don't think there will be a war. Nuclear powers never fight each other. Yeah, but I don't know, man. But it's so, the world is so chaotic right now. Like, we have COVID. Like, it's better now in America and Europe, I think, but here in Japan, we're fighting against that still. Yeah, it's so fundamentally, like, that's like making our society chaotic, COVID. And on the top of that, Taiwan situation is happening, and also North Korea, by the way, criticized Pelosi, saying that the visit is destroying the international peace. I thought that was funny, but North Korea always insists, and they are still there, And so North Korea and China, and then Russia and Ukraine, and because of that, we have a problem of resources. And one big problem about Taiwan is that I think the CCP doesn't even have to go into war to make us Japanese lose, because they can just end the resource line. Yeah, we need all the resources, but they can easily cut that. So, yeah. Ooh, another super chat. Thank you. My fiance is Chinese, really? And she sees a big struggle coming. The whole Shanghai situation was due to political situation, in her opinion. What do you mean is Shanghai situation?
だから上海だから上海のシチュエーションは、どちらかというとだから上海のだから上海のトップのね、上海の共産党のトップが、今度チャイナセブンに入るかどうかが大きな問題なんだ。それは習近平のものすごく側近なんだ。今の上海のトップ、共産党のトップが。まあそれを皆さんに説明してあげた方がいい。
So in China right now, they're deciding the China 7 people, and inside one of them might become one from Shanghai.
習近平が3期目に入るでしょ。習近平だから新しい体制になるでしょ。その時誰がチャイナセブンに入るかの問題でしょ。ちなみに中国、上海の今の共産党のトップは入る予定って言われてるわけ。習近平の側近なの。
上海のトップが入る予定。共産党のトップが入る。
市長とかじゃないよ。
The CCP's top is set to join China 7. And if there are problems in Shanghai, then he can go in. So anti-Xi Jinping people will. And anti-CCP people, anti-Xi Jinping people are now trying to agitate that. He's saying my English is bad. Oh my god, his explanation is bad. I'm only translating. How is Hidetoshi's English currently? Yeah, I want to ask that. Good question. Can he read and write it? I'd like to see him with you on camera in one of your streams chatting in English. He knows his stuff. Yes, because he's my mentor, political mentor. So I do have my opinions, but I always check the backgrounds and so on with my husband, and he gives me all this historical lectures and whatnot, often calling me stupid, I guess. Lockdown. コビットの話してるからね、ロックダウンの話をしてるんです
そう
よ。
だから、
うん
さっき言ってるその
うん
習近平派の
うん
人間が今上海のトップだ。
うん
だからロックダウンとかで上海がダメになったらその人入れなくなるでしょ。っていうことを説明してあげないとあなたが分かっても他のみんな分からない。
So my husband wants to explain the picture that so Xi Jinping is said to go into his third term this fall, and China works in the system of China 7, right? And in one of the people that joins China 7 is said to be the top of CCP. And the current Shanghai's top is very close to Xi Jinping. Yeah.
China 7に入るという噂されてるわけ。
And there's a rumor that this top guy will join China 7.
So,
yes.
だから今
So
今上海でね、いろいろそのロックダウンとかで問題になって騒いでるのは
right now there's many problems about Shanghai, like lockdowns and so forth, but it's because his enemies, like Xi Jinping's enemies, they want to drag his friend down. So it's a fight or power struggle inside of CCP, and that being Xi Jinping versus anti-Xi Jinping. And so COVID. So it seems like COVID-19 problem, but that's on the surface, and the real fight is that political power struggle. So what Moritz said was right. Yes. What's the holdup in Japan for the country to develop nuclear weapons? Is the best way to ensure that neither China or North Korea would even attempt to fund a business. What's a holdup for the country to develop? Well, in Japan, we can't even talk about nuclear weapons as if it's a curse that we shouldn't mention. Like it's like a taboo here somehow to talk about it, and that's the curse set by our leftists. So we have to begin by just talking about nuclear weapons in general. We can't. Yeah. Oh yeah, faction is the good word to use. Isn't Shanghai dominated by non-Xi faction? Shanghai は習近平じゃない派閥に牛耳られてるんじゃないかと。
そうだよ。
Yes.
だけど共産党の今のトップは上海の共産党の今のトップは習近平。
Oh, but that's right. Like that's correct. But the top guy is pro Xi Jinping. Yeah, where's it? Super chat. Your husband is very knowledgeable. Thank you. That will make his day. He is, because my husband is in the 40s, and he's been a political activist since he was 19 or so. So that's like what, over 20 something years, and he reads a lot, and he of course checks the newspaper, and he reads books a lot, and checks all the news on the TV and online, and he has lots of friends locally and in Tokyo and in other countries, and he has me, so I can translate for him. So yes. Li-chan.
今いいよ、俺がいいよ。
Oh, Li-chan. Such a cute name. Li-chan. Okay. Li-chan. Li-chan. When I type Li-chan, I see like an idol. South Korean. Somehow South Korean idol came up. But anyway, Li-chan is the name. Oh, I need to go. It's been an hour. Yoko, you speak amazing English. Unfortunately, only leftist Japanese learn to perfect their English like you. Most Japanese conservatives speak English like Nobita. Oh, true. True. Yeah, I get what you mean. I wonder why it is. Maybe because leftists want to, like, they hate, like, leftists here hate Japan, unlike the leftists in America. When I look at the leftists in America, I'm shocked that they are proud of their country. You know, they're like, oh, this is my America, and they have America. You know, but here in Japan, leftists just hate, really hate Japan, and that's why they listen to South Korea, North Korea, and China, and yeah, and also criticize all the history of here, demonize all the leaders from here, and I guess that becomes the reason why they want to become like foreigners and polish their English, because they just don't like their mother country. They don't like the language, like they don't like their mother tongue, I think. And I think that way because I used to be one. You know, I was not a leftist per se. Like I just hated my country before because I was brainwashed by the education and media here, and I thought that Japan was a bad country, and I didn't want to be here anymore. I wanted to become white and move to America. I don't know why, but don't ask me. I don't know why. But yeah, I wanted to become an American person. So that was actually the fuel for me to study English. So I guess just my life story wise, it just had a good change. I guess it was meant to be, you know. But I do, so me being like them, I understand where they're coming from. Yeah, it's the inferior complex. Yeah. Japan already has nuclear technology, but we don't know if they have nuclear bombs. We don't. I mean, we do have technology, but we don't have one. So yeah, if it's often said among the conservatives that if we decide to make a nuclear weapon, then we can instantly make one in days. Like that's what some people here say. I don't know if it's true, but we do have technology.
日本には持たず持ち作らず持ち込ませず、
Mm.
三原則
We have this. We have these three principles in Japan to not produce, not 作らず, not possess, and not to let others bring in nuclear weapons. So we are saying that we should get rid of the third one at least. Like Americans can bring that in here. You know, that would be nice. So yeah, we are discussing to get rid of the third principle. We had a stupid prime minister back in the day, and yeah, it's actually the LDP politician, right? LDP だよね。佐藤、栄作佐藤 made that principle. Stupid. leftists are not proud of America? Really? Isn't it the current America that they are not proud of? Like they have this fantasy of America, because I watch a lot of Netflix shows and I can see the America that they are picturing. And I don't know if there's America, because if they, I mean, they do. Some of the extreme ones do burn the American flag, and I've seen that on the news. But that's the extreme ones, like radical ones, and liberals and leftists in general. I don't think that they are that they're on that level. I don't know. Leftists in America see America under Joe Biden as a vehicle to spread LGBT ideology. Yeah, I'm reading a book. Oh, my book is over there. Uh, I was reading a book, and I realized that BLM, like Black Lives Matter and so forth, that sort of movement is used to spread communism and LGBT. Yeah. And it's interesting how leftists, or I mean Democrats, don't support Joe Biden. 90%? Yeah, over 90%. It's crazy. Leftists in America only celebrate America when they are in power. Leftists in America hate USA? You think? They only say that when it serves their purpose. Okay. If you guys say so, I guess American leftists hate America too. Okay. Founding population is evil. Leftists in Germany hate Germany too. Why is so fashionable to hate wherever? That's a good question. Why is it so fashionable? Yeah, it's a fashionable thing somehow. Yeah, I hate my country. And I'm so fashionable.
ちょっとあれ質問しようかな。
My husband has a question for you guys.
ウイグルはね、みんな知ってるか
Do you guys know Uyghur? Well, Uyghur,
ら。チベット。
Uyghur or Tibet? You of course know Tibet, right? But Uyghur.
ちなみにインナーモンゴリア知ってるか
And do you know Inner Mongolia? I guess that I've explained a lot in the past. I guess that you guys are familiar.
ウイグルはね。ウイグルはね、結構知ってる人多いと思う。俺が一番聞きたいのはインナーモンゴリアなの。
CCP genocide. Yeah, Uyghurs are the minority Muslim population in Tibet. Not Tibet, but チベットの中のウイグルから。Uyghur, East Turkestan. But do you know Inner Mongolia? So-called Inner Mongolia.
まあ一番、まあ本当サウザンモンゴリアで書いてきてる。
Yes,
サウザンモンゴリア。
Southern Mongolia.
それ言ったらもっと絶対わかんないと思うからインナーモンゴリアで分かって言ってるんだけど。
My husband thought that if he says Southern Mongolia, then you wouldn't understand maybe. So he said Inner Mongolia.
でやっぱりウイグルやチベットに比べてインナーモンゴリアは有名じゃないと思う。
Compared to Uyghur, Southern Mongolia / Inner Mongolia are not very known.
だからどれぐらい知られてるのか。
So-
モンゴリアはみんな知ってると思う。
Like everybody knows Mongolia, but
だから
Inner
サウ
Mongolia.
スモンゴリア、サウザンモンゴリア、もしくはインナーモンゴリアを知ってるかってことね。存在を。
So we were wondering if you know the existence of Inner or Southern Mongolia. Oh yeah, Uyghurs. The Chinese Muslims, that legacy media never covers. Yeah. Uyghurs are Muslims oppressed by China in literal concentration camps. Yeah. Personally, I don't like Islam. I think Islam is dangerous. Oh yeah, Uyghurs are in Xinjiang. Millions are in concentration camps used for forced labor. Yes, it is fashionable. Yes, yes. Um, my guess is they are the greatest source of organs. Yes, Uyghurs are, unfortunately, right now. I know Mongolia is a place, but nothing specifically about Inner Mongolia. I know where Mongolia is, not the internal politics. South Mongolia, Inner Mongolia is a CCP name. Yes, Dan knows well. Is a part of Mongolia that isn't the national border. うん。うん、あんまりあれだね、やっぱね。認識が。はい、
難しいね。
Yeah, we are wondering to see the level of like recognition so that we will know how to say things.
アメリカでどれぐらいね。
Like,
細かい話だからね。知ってる人はすごいと思うよって。知らないと。
if you know about Inner Mongolia or Southern Mongolia, whichever way you say, that's like an expert level just by knowing that.
まあだからアメリカ人はね、キューバとかグアテマラとかね、中南米のことわかるだろうけど、俺たちはわかんない。
So Americans know like Cuban history and Guatemala and so on, Colombia. Yeah. For us, it's on the other side of the world, so it's like Tibet, Uyghurs, Mongolia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, that sort of places. Unfortunately, Mongolians don't speak English. Tibetans do, so USA doesn't know about it. Yeah, Tibet actually, I think that they intentionally, made the kids study English to survive. Their education system is amazing. Tibetans, they know how to debate and they are very knowledgeable. And yeah, their English level, like if you are an elite there, very, very smart. Like I have Tibetan friends. One of my good friends, like she's a female too, but man, she speaks like perfect English. I wish I could speak like that. She's a liberal though. So it's interesting when we get together, wherever, like in person or online, and like Tibetan support type of people, they're all liberal usually. And so one person says like, oh, same-sex marriage is legal here and there, and they're like, ooh, and me and my husband are like, oh. Because we're the only conservatives. But yeah. Inner Mongolia is a province of China occupied since the time of Mao. Yeah. Americans don't know anything about foreign countries, generally speaking. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Because like there are lots of YouTube videos available, and people interview just people on the street, and they're like, they ask where China is or Japan is, and they have no idea. It's funny, but not funny, in a world like this today. What's sad is that nowadays no one remembers Tibet and what the CCP did. Yeah, the Dalai Lama is now mostly ignored, unlike the past. Yeah, it's crazy that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he's very famous, but in a spiritual world and not politically. And Tibet is very smart because, of course, like they knew how to like make it a brand of Tibet, His Holiness and his wars and in the culture, like, Tibetan Buddhism and so forth. And it's great what they're doing by that. That's soft power, hard power, soft power. There are things there are those powers, but soft power is very strong. But however, only people like, for example, Richard Gere is great because, yeah, or even Brad Pitt, and those actors sometimes notice what's going on behind the scenes and become a supporter, but it's very limited. And yeah, like I watch a lot of self-development videos and people talk about Dalai Lama often, but I'm like, if you know about him, like, can you extend your knowledge, 98% of Americans don't even know American history, let alone history of other countries. Yeah. I guess that's the proof of how America is a piece, though. Like, America as a country is going into war nonstop, but the people on the mainland, they don't think about war as their thing, like, they, of course, it's fashionable to go against wars and do activities, but it's not their everyday life. It's not directly affected. So I guess that people don't have to learn, because history is like, if you put labels to history as history, then you kind of detach history from the current issues. But history is something that you shouldn't detach. It's something, that is going on, right? That which you cannot cut from today or the present. So you are supposed to learn from your mistakes and success and all the past in general, but people put label as history, so then they think that history is something else other than past. And I guess that's the fundamental cause of all the, poor knowledge and so forth. Trump loves Epoch Times. It's owned by Falun Gong. He does. Man, I need to get on his social media, by the way. He has one platform, right? I don't have an account there yet. It's a religion. It's a religion.
다른 거야.
Horinko.
知ってる?
As a believer in Shintoism, are you and your husband big believers in His Holiness the Dalai Lama? You got a typo there. His Dalai Lama. Yes. Like, Shinto and Buddhism can coexist. And so we...
ダライラマの信者なのかってこと?
believers だから、信者というか、信者ってことなのかな、これ。believer. By believer, is that like worshippers? Or, but just to get you the idea, in Japan, Shinto and Buddhism were basically combined until Meiji era. So it's all like mixed. Like, how Japan is, like, we celebrate Christmas and then New Year, and when we have funeral, it's Buddhism, and when we have weddings, it's Christian. It's all mixed up, and we don't have problem with that. So you guys would have problems by us doing this, but yeah. So
ダライラマの信者である日本人は誰もいない。
There's no
ダライラマのこと好きだよ。
like, we love His Holiness the Dalai Lama, but
we like.
we like. My husband is trying to speak in English, but we like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, but it's not like believe us in religion.
チベット仏教の信者である日本人は誰もいない。
There's, as far as we know, there's nobody that like believes.
だけどチベットのサポートはする。
But we support.
チベット。 そこはちょっと言葉丁寧になって感じではない我々誤解される。
I hope that you get where we are coming from. Hold on. Believer as in a supporter spiritually, politically. Yeah. だからワーシップと違うんで、崇拝してるよ、その、とは違う。大丈夫、大丈夫。Okay, okay. We got it. You can create an account in Truth Social if you're outside of the US. No, no. Man, トランプの SNS があるじゃん。それは日本人は無理。海外にいたらダメなんだって。Is it a thing? Truth Social, Trump's platform, is it popular in America? Many people use it. Falcon is a cult. Well, yeah, I know what you mean, but they do all this. I've done it once because we have Falun Gong friends and because we are fighting together against CCP. So I do have friends from that religion. And one day I did that, their thing. It was okay. Like I enjoyed it because it's like an exercise.
Very weird.
Huh?
Very weird.
My husband said very weird. I like to imagine like, you know, lights coming into my body and you know, that sort of stuff, like because I'm a woman. But yeah. My husband has a rejection. It's funny. The last two generations of Americans seem to have missed out on education. Man, I really love what Tony Robbins was saying in an interview. I actually cut out one part and posted it on my Instagram. My Instagram is Random Yoko, as simply as that. But he said that good times create is it weak people? Weak people create bad times or something like that. And like he was explaining, oh man, my phone is here. I'm using my phone as the camera, so I can't play that. But basically saying how like with the good times, oh yeah, weak and strong. So good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people. Strong people create good times. Yeah. So there's the cycle in life, like seasons. So yeah, we are suffering from non-educated people. America is very against religions that aren't Christian or Judeo-Christian. Yeah, you should cherish your own religion. It's like America developed though through allowing immigration, but there was the byproduct of that, I guess, that like as for like a nation wise, you want to have one religion in order to stop problems from happening. But yeah, I guess that Japan, people overseas often talk about how Japan is what's the word, like one tribe and so on, like we are all Japanese, and of course that helps, but I guess the fundamental thing is that our beliefs are the same, you know, our religious sense is the same, so that really is important in my opinion. Truth Social is a bit of a failure, but it's nice to have access to Trump tweets again. Yeah. That's what I miss. Like, just I want to see Trump's wars, you know. So we will know more when Twitter reveals its board membership. Yeah, what happens to Elon Musk, by the way? Mm,
去年見たっていうね。
yeah. Mm. He's not buying because of the bots. In America, I think yes, it is, but not to the level of Twitter or Instagram. I think Getter might have a slightly lower reach than Truth Social. Huh. Wait, Getter? Right. Oh, it's the Getter is made by Miller. Truth Social is a Trump one, right? Hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Yeah. It's interesting. You guys are writing down the the words. Yep. Okay. He gave up. Elon Musk gave up. He's a fraud. No. Going through a lengthy legal process. He's. I think we will see legal discovery with regard to Musk and Twitter, which means Twitter will have to put up documents about their actual users. Not good for Twitter. Oh, so like they're working their ass off right now. Getter is controlled by Candace Owens' British husband. Oh, I didn't know that. He only taught me that name Miller. I didn't know about the marriage. Miles Guo. Oh, oh yeah, I know that guy. Isn't that 分岐じゃねこれ When Guo that rich guy, right? Yeah. He's he's problematic. Getter, huh? I didn't know that. He's good, but you can't trust.
わからん。
Hmm?
わからん。
Mm.
それ1時間半だ。
Oh, it's been an hour and a half. Oh my gosh, we gotta go. Huh? What do you think of the allegations against Alex Jones? Did you hear the authorities allegedly found child porn in his phone? Seems I don't know. I don't. I used to like Alex Jones, but then I realized that he shows opinions, but like I don't know how much of what he says is based on evidence, so I can't really. Yeah, but I didn't know about the child porn. That looks really bad. Candace is definitely not controlled by her husband. Good to know. Yeah, her book is here in Japan. Yoko stay. Thank you. Yoko, go get some ice cream. Oh yeah. Rub your husband's belly. I'm gonna do this to my husband later, cause he'll be laying down probably. Like, oh, I'm tired. Oh. Like an old man. Is that Japanese Alex Jones? Sort of. Sort of. Sort of. I mean, there might be many. Yeah. Okay. Man, it's really fun and I want to keep going, but I should go. It's Sunday here and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but
最後に出てきた。
oh, thank you for super chat. I like you and your husband, so have an ice cream on me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Like, yeah, we spend a lot of money on foods and basically foods alone and just living in general and political activity. So, I haven't even gone to the hair salon in such a long time now. Man, thank you for a lot of your super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dankeschön. Okay. Thank you. Bye, Yoko. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you. Good stream. Thank you, Yoko. Have a good and thank you. Gotta go, yo. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a good night or have a good day wherever you are. Hope you are well. Okay. Gonna go. Okay. Okay, bye. See you next week. Bye.